Alright, welcome back to Intelligent Faith 315, part 3 here, response to my atheist friend Danmill23, some comments he left on the Intelligent Faith 315 YouTube channel, just trying to answer these for my friend Dan. I'll go to the next one. This is a comment Dan left on the video, 5 unique aspects of the Christian worldview. Number 1, it is verifiable. Excuse me. Dan says this, excuse me. He says, yeah, not so sure how all this quote-unquote verifies Christianity, speaking to the evidences that I mentioned in that video, which were archaeology, history, and prophecy. Just 3 to name a few, there's many more. Dan goes on to say this, okay, let's agree. Pontius Pilate is real. Pilate is misspelled there. Babylon is real. Babylon is misspelled as well. And the Quran is not true. He says, even let's say that Bible prophecy is real. He says, how does any of this verify that Jesus existed, sin exists, Jesus was God, and his death can cure sin? So, just in a basic sense, Dan, I wasn't saying that this verifies Christianity. What I was saying is that Christianity can be verified. And there's actually a big difference. It's not just a play on words. I'm not saying that the discovery of the city of Babylon or the fact that Pontius Pilate, through an archaeological inscription or historical documents, I'm not saying that that in and of itself, that one singular discovery verifies Christianity, because obviously it doesn't. All I'm saying is that Christianity can be verified by checking out these minute, specific, individual details. That's all I'm saying. So in other words, if Christianity is true, if the gospel narratives are true, Pontius Pilate should be real. He is. If Christianity is true, the city of Babylon should exist. Well, it does. If Christianity is true, the Quran should not be true. It's not, and there's many ways to verify that. You said so even yourself. And then you said this interesting comment, let's even say that Bible prophecy is real. Now, if Bible prophecy is real, Dan, just so you know, that would be very incredible, and it actually is true, Dan. And I would really encourage you, if you've never honestly taken a look at Bible prophecy, and it's very simple. You just see what the prediction was, when the prediction was made, and then you see in secular history if that historical prediction was ever fulfilled. And it's very easy to verify this. You could look at the book of Daniel, look at the book of Jeremiah, look at the book of Isaiah, the book of Psalms. Even in the book of Genesis, there's historical predictions even there, or even in well, it's just all over Scripture, Dan. So, but I do encourage you to check that out, because the Bible does claim in Isaiah 42 through 44, the Lord himself, through the mouth of the prophet Isaiah, he says that if prophecy isn't true, then throw away the Bible. So you could do that, Dan. If prophecy actually is not true, then throw it away. But if prophecy is true, and it is, and I investigated it for 2 years, as I told you in the last video, that's why I became a Christian, it makes the Old and New Testament scriptures, the Christian Bible, absolutely unique in all the world's religious literature, because it alone has the ability and the capacity to predict world history in advance. No other holy book can do this. And so what would this be evidence of? Well, it would be evidence that a being from beyond time and space with knowledge of the future can communicate himself to and through human beings. They write it down before it happens, and it actually comes to pass. So this would go to great lengths to verify the divine origin, and we call this inspiration, of the Old and New Testament scriptures. In other words, from outside our time and space domain, this person, this being, has communicated himself to us and proves it by using prophecy as his calling card to verify if these scriptures are actually true. So I do encourage you to look into biblical prophecy, Dan. I have a video actually posted. It's kind of an animated video, but dealing with the messianic prophecies of Jesus, over 300 prophecies about this Savior figure called Messiah, and everything from his place of birth to his method of death, his torture, the amount of money he'd be betrayed for, the type of ministry he would perform, and so forth, was prophesied hundreds, and in some cases, Dan, even thousands of years in advance. And if a person doesn't believe that, that's fine. All you have to do is go investigate the Old Testament copies that we have today that contain these prophecies. The Dead Sea Scrolls that are on display in Israel. I've seen them myself in the Dome of the Spirits in Israel. And then also the Greek copies of the Old Testament, the Septuagint. We have at least 4 of those, and those are from 300 BC, from the time of Alexander the Great. So it's really undeniable. It is physically written down. It can be actually verified, and the prophecies are there. and then you actually see they happen in history, how do you explain that? Well, there has to be a source for the scriptures that is beyond humanity. It's powerful evidence of God's existence and of the validity of the Old and New Testament scriptures. So again, all I mean, Dan, when I say that Christianity is verifiable, I'm not saying that archaeological discoveries verify Christianity one at a time. I'm saying that Christianity is verifiable by checking into the evidence that you can find in archaeology, history, prophecy, also in empirical science, in philosophy, and many other areas. So that's all I mean when I say that it is verifiable, that it can be verified. So go to the next one. You made another comment on the video that I said, the video entitled 5 Unique Features of the Christian Worldview. It is compatible. And you made this comment, okay, dude, this is where we have stopped playing nice. And Dan, if you meant that I was mean when I said this comment, I don't mean to be mean. I apologize if it sounded mean. I didn't mean it in that way. You go on to say this, I cannot speak for Hindus, but if I asked them about, quote, walking across the street and how that related to life being an illusion, unquote, do you think they would express the same opinion you expressed? And then you said, it's a straw man. Well, I have to disagree with you, Dan. I don't think it's a straw man. This is actually the orthodox Hindu position. It is one of the cardinal and the central doctrines and teachings of Hinduism called Maya, that reality is an illusion. And I think that they would have to come to some kind of a reconciliation with that. They do believe that reality is an illusion. It's one of the stated orthodox belief of their system. So what that actually means and the practical everyday reality is that, for example, and I was just drawing out an example, wasn't trying to be mean, that as they cross the street, a truck coming down the road, you have to deal with that. Because either A, it's an illusion, or B, it's not an illusion. If you treat it as not an illusion, then you are being inconsistent with your Hindu belief of reality being Maya, not real, an illusion. And there's an inconsistency there. And so that's all I'm trying to say. And I know that it sounds kind of strange to use a specific example of that, but this is what you call reductio ad absurdum. If you do not believe in another worldview, a way that you can test it, a way that you can actually see if you should believe it or if it is coherent, is to try to see if it can be reduced to something that is absurd. Now, your absurdity may be false, and if that is the case, then that worldview can still be true. But if your absurdity actually holds true, like it does in this case, that's absurd, that's unlivable. So Hindus, in other words, walk around every day, and there's wonderful, beautiful Hindu people. I'm not saying anything about the people. I'm simply referring to the belief system, the idea about Maya, that if you really believe that, you are very inconsistent with that belief as you walk around, because you treat food as if it's real, you treat water as if it's real, oxygen as if it's real, people as though they are real, and as you cross the street, you treat semi-trucks as if they are real, and so that is inconsistent. And that's all that I am saying, is that the Christian worldview is not like that. It is compatible. We believe in reality. We believe in a correspondence theory of truth, that truth is what matches up with reality, and reality is that semi-truck, it really does exist. It's not an illusion. So Christianity is compatible with what we see in the real world. That's all I was trying to say. And then you said, next, us black-hearted atheists logically end in insanity and in suicide. Does saying that make you feel better? So first of all, Dan, I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude or mean. I'm not trying to commit an ad hominem fallacy where I'm trying to say some insult against the other side. I'm not trying to say that at all. I apologize if that's how it sounds. All I'm trying to say is that if you take the atheistic worldview and philosophy to its ultimate conclusion, it ultimately ends in despair and in hopelessness. And for this reason, many people, such as Friedrich Nietzsche, the father of modern atheism, and I've read his books, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, The Antichrist, many books from Friedrich Nietzsche, he ended in imbecility. And I believe he was addicted to certain chemicals, and I have to double check. I'm not sure if he committed suicide or not, but what I'm saying is it ends in hopelessness and despair, because for those who are brave enough, quote unquote, brave enough to come to the reality that there is no meaning to life, there are no moral values, there is no ultimate purpose, it's a very, very despairing, hopeless type of a situation. And if you honestly believe that and you walk out into the world, it does honestly lead to the point, not that they should commit suicide, but it leads to the point of, why should we go on living? And many atheists have actually quoted this and have actually made this type of a statement. And I forget the name right now, Dan. It escapes me. I don't remember if it was Bertrand Russell or some other famous atheist from the historical past, but have made some of these quotes about how one of the main questions we must deal with is, why should we keep on living? And that's all I'm saying, is that for the consistent atheist, that becomes a real problem. Now, most atheists don't feel like that. They don't feel like, killing themselves and that life is hopeless. But that's precisely my point, because having that viewpoint is inconsistent, because in the viewpoint of atheism, there is no meaning, there is no morality or values, and there is no purpose. So if you do believe in meaning, values, and purpose, ultimately you are being inconsistent. Whether you see it or not, you are being inconsistent with the atheistic worldview. Question to ask yourself is, why do you believe in morals if, according to atheism, they don't exist? Why do you believe in ultimate meaning and ultimate purpose if atheism tells you they don't exist? They do exist, but not according to atheism. You're eating off a borrowed credit card. You're standing on Christian ground when you say things like that. It's something to investigate. It's incompatible with that worldview. That's all I was saying there. And then you say this, Dan, my worldview is based on what I encounter in the real world. And obviously you think that, or you wouldn't hold your worldview, but what I'm trying to get at is some of the things that you yourself encounter in the worldview, some things that I mentioned in a previous video response to your comments, things such as logic, reason, morality, mathematics, design, love, beauty, consciousness. Those things, I'm sure you believe in them, they run counter your worldview. They have no basis for existing in your worldview. And so actually you hold to a worldview that doesn't explain a lot of things that you do encounter in the real world. And so there's large inconsistencies with the atheistic worldview. Atheism has no sufficient explanation as to how these things have come about, yet most atheists, at least, definitely in private, believe in the existence of all those things, yet atheism has no explanation for them. Naturalism, physicalism, scientism has no explanation for the existence of those immaterial realities. So, well, there we go again. There's my 13-minute alarm. Let me stop this video, and then I will try to finish up with Dan's last comment and 5 questions that I would like to pose to you, Dan, and then you could shoot me back a video respectfully when we get done. Okay, so I'll stop this one and finish off with the last one.